some parts here. Come on, get out. Get out. Just want to make sure that when I paint this, I only paint what is required. Oh boy. I didn't realize it was stuck in there. I put the parts back into the tray again because I just finished separating them, cleaning it up, seeing if there's any other parts that I may have missed. Oh, it's this way. I'm like pulling it the other way around. Seeing if there are any other parts I missed, and sanding down areas which I don't know if it's going to bother me or it's part of the detail. So every part that, like, you know, the inner frame, I look at every part that has the nub mark, and even if the nub mark is covered up by the armored plating, I don't want to leave it to chance and I mess up and forget. So I'm looking at this one right now in this manual of the backpack, but unfortunately the detail here you don't barely see. Also, as I'm doing that, I'm going to begin putting these on. I think that'll be fine there. And that'll be fine there. Can I remove this without actually opening up the part the same? So I have to go back into the manual and review what I did. So, oh, I gotta pop it open to the sides. Yep, alright. Looks like I have no choice in the matter. But I wonder if I could do it. Let me see. Like that. There we go. So I can do this. Here. I'm just gonna pull the whole thing out a bit. That way when I spray it, I get the inside, then move it inwards, and then spray it again. Take that out, put that there. You know, I was looking at the parts again. Let me show you things. Now, obviously this is the gray parts. There's a lot of detail here on the gray parts. Areas that are being covered up by the blue and the red, where it'll add a layer. And also, now going into the light, I need to see this, make sure that there's no scarring. Okay, that's good. But you have something like this, and then you have like the railgun, and this one I have to pop open later on when I have finished assembly. And wow, there's a lot of detail there. So me painting it gray may not be maybe a good idea. Well, it is actually a great idea. But I may end up, as I'm painting like the charcoal colors, I'm going to paint this charcoal. Then, like this detail there, I'll mask it off. There and there. And then paint it the next color over. This could be the same thing here, like right there in the middle. And there as well. These are ideas that I can figure out. And this is part of the railgun. Let me see this one. Same thing there. Depending on how well I'm going to do. This part is going to be painted all one color. I know this is a detail part. It's not a polycap, but I'm not going to take this whole thing apart just to paint this one color and then put it back together and repaint it again. It's not going to paint that for this. So this saves space, you know, some spacing for you to put on the clips on. First I got to prime it though. Get that out of the way. Now, let me pull out the white parts, because this is the one that I was like more interested in seeing. I began pre-assembling some of the, like the rail, like this one. This is the oval shoulder cannons, and there's some detailing there as well. And I'm thinking of doing the same thing like I'm doing with this, the other one, where I'll paint the same color or a different color, and then mask it off, and then reprime it, and then paint the other color, the white. I see that in this. Let me see this one. This one is the shield has always been one of the most unique parts of the Freedom. Even though Strike Freedom does not have any shields, it has like the energy shield. The actual shield that's on the regular Freedom is well detailed. Look at this. This is really nice. So same thing right here. I'm going to paint this all a different tone color, most likely metallic or maybe charcoal gray. But I think metallic will be a good idea for this area and this little hold area, and that one as well. And then mask it off and recolor, the regular white. But yeah, this one, I've always was a big fan of the shield, and it's interesting. I'm going to be building this 3 times. This one, the real grade version, and the master grade version. The head has its own detail thing, so I'm not going to have to worry about this. The back skirt armor, you have that area that I'm going to work on. Ooh, there's a nut mark there. There, I'm going to clean it up. Try to get to everybody here. Use a 400 grit first, and using this fine. There we go. So yeah, like that area here, this section here. This was actually from the railguns as well, and look at this. This is stupidly ridiculous with detail. You know what? Let me see. What position this is? It has to be this. Yeah, because there in the light, there is a little reflection there, but that is indicating that it's metallic or painted in a different tone. I don't see that in the final product, but doesn't mean I don't want to do that. I'm actually considering that for this area here. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can see this closely. For this area here and here. This won't be on the inside, but I'll do it anyway. You never know. This one, can't even tell where this came from, but hold on. Oh, I think this is the older shoulder cannons. This could be this, but I don't know. I have to check. Right now, after finished sanding, I want to double review the parts. Like right there, there's a little scarring. Let me get the 400 grit sanding paper. So I spent an entire day cleaning up all these, and there's so many parts. So I spent an entire day, making sure everything's nice and clean, and I don't want to, accidentally miss one part. Darn it, I forgot to clean it. But there's a lot of little parts here that makes up the legs, that makes up the arms, that makes up the chest area. It's one layer after another, which was like, I was a bit surprised. But yeah, this is what they did with the, this is a master grade, so to speak. So it'll be, I wonder how it will look like with the barbitos. Obviously, I have the barbitos master grade. Don't have the high grade anymore. But I would like to see where to go with the regular with the new master grade SD kit once it comes out. But that's a conversation for another time. Right now, let me begin preparing this, making sure all these are in on these alligator clips, and then I'm going to begin priming first. And once I'm done with the priming, then I will begin with the painting. So right now I am in the middle of priming the Master Grade SD Freedom Gundam, and I'm doing okay, but I am now noticing something that is annoying me, and I didn't want to say anything until I'm absolutely positively sure about what I'm about to say, but I'm afraid to say this, but I'm going to have to say this. This spray booth is not working well, as you could see. I remember the day when I got it and it was flowing perfectly, and I was cleaning it and maintaining it and doing everything possible to get the flow right. But no matter what I do, after a few moments of that, it stops, and then it starts up again, and then it stops, and then it starts up again, to the point where sometimes it'll stop completely, utterly, and then all I have is the fan hitting behind it, and that's it. My $300 spray booth is now slowly becoming a very wet paperweight. Now, I'm going to complain, and I think this could be a fault of my end, but I'll say that I spent hours upon hours of cleaning, maintaining, tightening, adjusting, fixing, and whatever. But no matter what I do, even after putting in fresh water and and the exact amount of water, it will not flow properly. I think part of it is because the basket inside over there, because there is a metal basket that has microscopic holes. It's designed to capture the paint as it's flowing through, so it doesn't clog up. But then here's the thing, though: it will clog up if you don't clean it out. And if I don't do anything, and the water will dry out. So is the paint. You got to remove everything out, clean out the baskets. Use a wired mesh to get all that gunk out. But I think this is not flowing right for me at all, and I'm getting annoyed. Really, and I'm annoyed at this. It is not that loud, as you could see, especially since I don't have the compressor on. Compressor's fine. I got no issue with this. It's how this is working, and this is with the fan on, as you can hear. I'm going to turn off the fan. See? It sounds fine. The problem is, though, that this water flow is not going the way it's supposed to be. Also, the water is splashing, it's like not collecting right and not flowing properly. And then instead of falling in this little reservoir here where it then funnels at, it actually drops over and falls into the cavities here where the airflow goes through, so that way the filter goes, Plus you can actually hear that water pump like I don't know. I'm now to a point where I'm now thinking of early retirement on my spray booth. It's a shame, really. Spray booth is nice and pleasant, but I'm also constrained with the fact that in my room the table arrangement is so constricted that I may have to rearrange how my seating is. That is a possibility that maybe I'm thinking maybe readjusting the tables a bit so I can get a better access, because when I was in my other place I was like sitting right next to the spray booth and I had more access to it, but I'm like a little farther away, which is annoying on me as well. I'm going to be rearranging this room again to be a little bit more accessible. But if I cannot find a way to fix this spray booth, well, fortunately, I have the backup. The original Mr. Spray booth, which is still, I haven't thrown it away. It's still in storage. All it needs is a nice cleaning. I still have the filters, and if those filters don't work, I can buy regular filters at Walmart or Home Depot, Lowe's, or any other hardware store that I can think of at this moment. Unless somebody out there can give me some insight on what to do, or maybe a better way of trying to fix this. I don't know. I feel bad that I'm going to. I don't want to say goodbye to the spray booth, to the waterfall spray booth by the Kaizu, which was sent to me by Robot Kai. But I guess I need a better way of doing this. So right now I am priming the black parts. I'm going to be priming the black parts and the gray parts first. Then I'm going to paint them, get them out of the way before I move on to the color parts. When I get those things done first, because unfortunately the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm running out of, I don't have any more clips. This SD Gundam, Master Grade SD Gundam Freedom takes up a lot of parts. Surprisingly it did. But I should have expected that. Anyway. Alright, I'm gonna continue on because I want to get the air on and then finish it up, and then we'll continue on. The spray booth will still be there until I'm done with this build, and then I'll retire it and get the other spray booth ready for the next build once I'm done. So let me continue on, and hopefully we'll get this done. Before I begin painting some of these parts now, like I mentioned a moment ago, I want to take the time to refill or fill up one of these Kaizu bottles, which I got from Gundam Planet. They have it in stock. Actually, I bought the last two medium ones here, and I'm meaning to prepare bottles for whatever paints that I want to use. The one that I wanted to prepare is this one, the MX-20, because this is actually a very, very good gunmetal. I had it in this bottle here, but it's so uncomfortable and it's light as a feather. I'm not going to use this. And plus the fact that okay, it's good to a point, but then it makes a mess. So I'm going to be tossing that out. And I'm going to use this one. It's a little bit more easy to manage. Now this one is a bit on the thick side. And it's already caked in, but that's why I want to use this on this bottle all the time. I think I put a lot of thinner on this so I can loosen up for the future. But I want to get out of this and put it in here. Yeah, I put a lot of thinner on this so I can agitate it more and thin it out. I had the Moto thinner, but I've already used it all up. So I decided to use the Mr. Color Thinner, leveling thinner, to help me out with this. I'm going to get the whole thing out of the bottle. I think that's enough. I'm going to put thinner in this bottle in a moment, but let's get this. And then we're going to do this. You know, didn't I? You know what? I forgot that I have siphons. I forgot that I ordered them, and now I don't even know where I put it. Did I put it here? Oh yeah, I have my siphons. Here it is. So small. Actually, I have a bigger one, but I think this is the one that's not working anymore. I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. It doesn't hold up a lot. I'm going to put like over 50%. Well, let's see how much we can do, because I want to thin this up a bit and then test it out. Yeah, that's good. I think that should be good. I'm going to grab one little bit more. There we go. The one thing you do not want is this paint to come out very, very, very wet. Well, we're going to test it out. I'm just going to get a tape and actually what I will do is I'll put this in hot water so this paint this label comes off. Then I'll put it on this and then tape it up. Let's put it right bottom. Just a little bit to see how it is. Yeah, that should be enough. And then close it up. This airbrush is good. The only problem is something gets stuck in here, so you gotta pull it up a bit. Alright, it is flowing fine, but the best way to test this is by getting a part and then testing it out here. I want to see this right. It is a little wet, I'll say, but I always do another layer, and it is a little high on. No, it's actually 10 psi. Yeah, about 10-ish psi's. But that should be fine. Plus the fact that I was spraying a little too close, and that pulls up a little bit of the paint. So when I get my spray booth ready, I'll do it from a distance and then get a nice even coverage so it looks okay. So that's fine. I'm gonna put a little thinner there to loosen it up, get it out of there, put it in that bottle, and now that will be my gunmetal for all my builds that I use. Alright, what do you think of that? Let's continue working.